Hello, welcome back to Sabretooth at Nethemba, where we care about your security. I've had a haircut, so it might look a bit weird. Okay, on Hack the Box Friday, we have done the whole of the first page. We are now on page 2, and our next system is a medium system called Sneaky. I've already just reset it just in case, and everything else. Here it is. It shows that it is active. It's a medium system. I did not know that. I do now, so I will put it in here on Hack the Box. We're going to add a subnode. Sneaky. There we go. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. So we're going to get the IP address, and we are straight off. Go into adventure mode, of course. We're not going to read any hints. The user rated difficulty, a lot of people are saying medium. A few people are saying it's actually really quite difficult. Not too many saying easy. More saying difficult than easy. Okay, it's been voted to be reset. My mistake. I thought I already reset it, but obviously not. I do sort of wonder whether I should just reload and be done with it. The machine is spawning. Okay, so I like to be into adventure mode. I like to be ready for when the video starts, but in this case I wasn't. But it has been 4 minutes, and that's what made me think that maybe it'd be done. There it is. There it is. It didn't take long. So let's get the nmap going. Nmap T5, all ports. Lovely. Okay. Try again. Okay, so we're going to give it the PN flag, just in case it's blocking our ping probes. And we will see what's happening. I've got my RTFM over this side, so if you see me glancing here, it's because I'm looking something up. In the book, obviously not online. There's no real way that I can look up things online unless I don't know, to be honest. But I'm sure you trust me by now. Right, let's see how this is doing. Oh, this is sort of taking a while. 7 minutes left. Indeed. Oh no, that's going down quick. It's gone from 7 minutes 34 to 6 minutes 22 in literally just a few seconds. Okay, well, we're going to take this anyway, and we'll just see what it comes up with. A minute, just make sure all my notes are in order, make sure everything's here. I may start the video, and I'll be back once this is done. Save a bit of time. I'm back just to say that I've not done my usual thing of checking the web port, so let's do that. Whilst that's doing its thing, I'll try a HTTPS over here as well. Oh, great. This is not looking likely, and this is still going to take a while. Oh man. Okay, I'll be back again when it's done. Okay, my scan was acting weird, so I've stopped it and restarted it. You'll see that I got port 80 here, and you'll see that this time for all ports it's now running really quick. So maybe the system was just starting up. Sometimes you've got to leave it a couple of minutes after a reset. And again, we've just got port 80, which is interesting. This is going to be an entirely web-based box then. And I've just loaded it up, and this is what we have. So that was worthwhile redoing, because it was taking such a long time before. Fine. But we did that without the A flag, but that's okay. That's not too bad. Good. So port 80 has a under development page. Let's just check the source code. There's nothing here which is important. We can check the cookies, and there's nothing here which is important. And obviously we're going for robots.txt and GoBuster. Perhaps I'll do this in a different window, not that it matters. Okay, let's use the raft list, so we will see. So for some reason robots.txt is not even wanting to load whatsoever. And there's errors here as well. What is going on? I was able to access the website and now I'm not. Maybe this box is just really unstable. I mean, that's a possibility, isn't it? Let's get rid of those 100 threads and we'll just do it one thread at a time, 10 threads or whatever. But it's strange because nothing seems to be loading on this site. So if I get rid of robots.txt and just look, now it works. Client while waiting headers. I don't understand. So if I can't use GoBuster, then I'm going to use derb. And if I can't use derb either, oh no, that's running. Okay. So I'm not sure what's going on with this system, but something isn't quite right about it. We will have to wait and see. But this is the only thing I can now think of, unless... There's really not much else I can think of doing, so there has to be some sort of directory here, right? There has to be. Okay, we've got a dev directory. Members, fine. Area only, okay. Fine, so let's update notes. GoBus, no, derb, shows, dev. There's a login form here, so what we're going to do is admin, not found, admin password, sabretooth password. SQL injection. Okay, nice. On the login form, allows access. Good. Name admin, name Thrasivolos. Okay. So let's paste that in here. There is that a private key I just found? Is also a private key. ... My key. Okay, so we're going to copy this, and we're going to wget. Yeah, that didn't work. Sure, I just copied the link to that, maybe not. Yeah, my bad. What is going on with this system? Fine. I don't have a clue what's happening. Maybe it's the GoBuster. Yeah, that stopped as well. Right, let's kill that. I don't know. This is such a really weird weird thing. Is everything okay with my connection? Looks okay. I could try connecting to a different server. That's a really good point. I might do that. I could try connecting to a different server. I guess. That's not the worst idea in the world. Okay, I'm going to make these changes, then I'll be back. Okay, it turns out that I was just about to change my server. I was just about to change my server and download the key. It says switch successfully. I'm not sure whether this still works. So, and I didn't have to because it just kind of kicked in. So let's try one more time for that. Yeah, I mean, it's still not. Anyway, we're going to save page as boxes. I still may need to change servers. What is this? What is this box called? Sneaky. I mean, that could be why it's called. Let's do dot key. That could be why it's called sneaky. Maybe it just doesn't like the fact that I'm battering it with all these things. I might just sneak around a little bit. It shows that I'm no longer actually attached. Have I messed things up? Dude. I mean, maybe I can just reload the page. It might show me as active. No, it's just spell machine. Right, I've messed something up now, so I'm going to change server and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've changed server to number 19 now. Server 19. This still loads as far as I can tell. I'm interested in just doing another Nmap scan just to see. This is quicker. This is much quicker. Just to see that this is the only port open. The only reason I'm saying that is because this is an RSA key. And generally I'd be using SSH to use that key. Interesting. So, right, so we're going to change the mode of the key. I mean, it won't work, not with port 22. What were our usernames? Admin at 10, 10, 10, 20. Connection refused. Yeah, absolutely. There is no port 22 open. What do I do with this key? Okay, I've just thought of something. Let's do, because I can't think of anything else now to do, so how about we do another Nmap scan and we do SU. So normally we'd do ST or STV, and that's a TCP scan. The U is a UDP scan, and we generally don't do these often because there's never too much running on the UDP ports. But I don't know it. I don't know what to do from this point. I am absolutely 100% at a dead end. I've managed to get into the website. I've got a SSH key. I don't know if that SSH key has a password. If it does, maybe I can use that to get into something else, but there's nothing else to get into, is there? UDP scans do take forever, by the way, as you can see. Oh man. So in order to stay sane, I think what I'm going to do is get rid of all ports. I'm just going to do just the common ports. And we'll just see that's better. 4 minutes 18, and it should go down relatively quickly. Oh, it's going up. Okay. I could try the top 1,000. I could try the top, or I could just do ports 1 to 100 and just do it in groups of 100 and just see how that works. Because that's only 14 seconds, you see, if you do it in groups of 100. But I mean, there's 65,000 ports, and I guess I'm just kind of hoping that something will be on a lower number. This might be just one that I need to wait for, guys. I might need to just do the whole range. Let's be sensible. Let's be sensible, right? What we're going to do is we're just going to do the first, 1,000 ports and see if anything appears in the first 1,000 ports. There is no SSH, however. So we try a UDP scan. I'm not sure if 1,000 ports is enough. Okay, I'll be back when this is done. It's a lot of stopping and starting today. It's going to be a nightmare to edit. Okay, right, that's taken ages. As you can see, it is now 12:10 down here. I don't know when it started, but yeah, that took like 15 minutes just for the first 1,000 ports. We've got UDP port excuse me, that hurt. SNMP open 161. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do all ports now with this scan and just leave it running in the background, because it's not going to harm anything. But I can start looking at 161. Now SNMP, there is a program called SNMP walk. Let's clear that. And the idea, oh, hang on, it's not even installed. Sudo apt install s, and I know I've seen it. That is the worst case of mistyping I've seen in a long time. So SNMP walk, you give it a community string, whether it's public, private, or whatever. I don't know what community strings are available on this system. And what it should do is return information about the system. So yeah, there we go. So what we need to do with this is okay, we need to use the C for community, and then we've got the version to use 1, 2, or 3. I don't even know. I'm just going to be guessing at these. So let's take a look up common community strings for SNMP. I keep doing SNMP, and I'm not sure why. The most common default are public for read-only and private for read-write access, but these are insecure and should always be changed. Okay, so let's make a note. Update our notes. We can try SNMP community strings. Public and private. I mean, private would probably yield more information, maybe not, but we can try anyway. So let's go back here and try this. SNMP walk. Again, SNMap. It's because it's got nmap in it, and it's just touch typing and so used to writing it, you know. So V version 1, community string private. And then I think 10, 10, 10, 20 is the way to go. No response. It's not doing that again, is it? Let's try public then. Oh my god, right, that works. So let's take this. I wasn't lying, was I, when I said it gives back some information? Blimey. What am I looking at here? Hang on, let me just stop that. I don't know why I stopped it. I'm stupid. Right, let's keep that going. Let's see if we can find what I was looking for. We've got some IP addresses here. 1010, 1020, 1010, 255. So that's the system. That's the net mask. That's the local address, like the loopback. Other than that, I mean, okay, so because that's still running, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use MIBs, and for that, MIBs makes it into like a more readable format, but for that I need to actually change a setting in the config. I can't remember where it is. I think it's in etc. Sudo nano etc SNMP. That's the one. That's the one. So yeah, this MIBs, you just need to comment that out. As it says, if you added the MIBs, you can re-enable, like, right, so we're going to do that. Packages come without the MIB files due to licensing reasons. So I can install MIBs, sudo apt install SNMP MIBs, is that it? Download. Can't quite remember it. Downloader? Something like that. Okay, I think that's it. I would have just looked it up. I would have just looked it up if I needed to. So SNMP MIBs download apt. If I just put that, I've actually put app 7, but that's not a problem. Yeah, and it's right there. SNMP MIBs downloader, install SNMP, and so on. So you know, if I hadn't have guessed it, I could have just found it. So there's always a way around things. It's not just a case of knowing them, you see. So that's now, this should now give me something in a more readable format, I think. So let's try it. Hang on, I need to update my notes. To be fair, I don't need to do any of that. We can just put we use SNMP walk with MIBs enabled to get, and that's just the easiest. That's just the easiest thing to do. I don't need to go through all these steps, right? So now, if I just stop it again, it should be more readable in the fact that if admin status, if operator status, if last changed, it's giving us some. It's actually using version 2 rather than version 1. That's interesting. Oh, and we've got, what's that up here? So string root, string sneaky, that's the box name. Okay, this is more like it. So I think what I'm going to do, rather than get a massive bunch of stuff going there, I'm going to put SNMP output dot text. And we'll just do that. And then we can just look through things at our leisure without having to worry about the terminal length or anything like that. Wow, this is taking a while. Everything on this box just seems to be taking so long. This is going to be a huge file. I wonder if we can read it whilst it's being written to. Yeah, it's, you see it's halfway done, but at least we can read what it's got so far. See what we can find in here. We've just got loads of random, not random, sequential integers for some weird reason. Dev null SNMP. Okay. Fine. Oh, we've got TTY. Okay. I honestly, at the minute, don't know what I'm looking for as such. But maybe if I see something, it might just make me think, oh yeah, let's try that. So what's this? That's the boot image. Okay. Linux 4.4 kernel generic. Fine. What else do we have here? Oh, interesting. 127001. I think that must be port 3306. So there's an internal database. That would make sense because we did some SQL injection to get into that. Okay, so that's fine. IP address, local IP address. This is all good. I'm not sure what's useful and what isn't right now. So again, that's our IP4. 10.10.10.20, then we've got the net mask and the local address. IP6. Oh wow. So that'll be 127001 here. And I'm assuming this one with all the zeros here. Oh, maybe not, I don't know. That one starts with dead beef. Huh. Okay, let's make a note of this because I'm intrigued that there's an IP6 address here. Now, IP6 generally doesn't split every byte. It does it in groups. Let's try Nmap on... This is interesting. Let's just try Nmap. We'll put in a 6. And then we need to just sort of go through this and... I'm not quite sure where my cursor is. It's just gone. Oh. Dead beef ADBE EF00 02 5056. That's not right. I don't know what's happening here. It's just sort of messing up. Let's go again. And of course Nmap isn't spelled right. The one time I don't, you know, what is going on with that? This is so dumb. This is so dumb. I really hate the terminal sometimes. I'll do it here. $50, 56, FF, 94, 95, 33. There we go. That. And there's another one as well, which we'll do in a minute. So Nmap 6. Port 22 is open on IP version 6, but it is not open on port 80. I mean, it's not open on IP4. Interesting. Let's just try this one. I'm not entirely sure what this one is, but we can take a look. I'm not liking all these zeros. I feel like something's going on here. Now, on a pen test, if I was given an IP version 4 address, I would go back to the customer and say, look, I found this address. Is it in scope? And just see what they say, because you never know. So that one seems down. Okay. So we can ignore that one, but this one with the dead beef, that's intriguing. Let's copy this. Does that mean I can use that SSH key here? That is interesting if so. Let's take a look. SSH, nope, wrong one. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember. Okay. And we need the username, which I think is admin, right? Permission denied. I honestly thought I was going to work. Oh, I honestly thought that was going to work. Oh, hang on, we've got another username on the website. Let's try this. Let's try this. Permission denied public key. Okay, no mutual signature supported. No mutual signature supported. No mutual signature supported. That's different. That's okay. No, that's a different error. Let's look into that. No mutual signature supported. If you use it with VVVV, the following output can be seen. Solution. Public accepted key types. Okay. Let's just Google that by itself. So yeah, it's in the SSHD config. Let's try that. Let's edit our file. Sudo nano okay. I'm not sure where to put it, so I'll just jam it at the bottom and just see what happens. And then it says to restart. It says to restart the SSH. So it's still not working. Man. I wonder if we can put it in line. I wonder if we can put it in line instead. Let's just open a couple of these. I've come across the issue before, but not for a while. I mean, in fact, to be fair, I was wondering if I've sort of seen it before. Obviously not. I've not seen it before in, you know, whilst I've been doing this. Okay, I'll be back when I've found something. This is just wasting. Literally found it just to stop the video. It's with the O flag. It's with the O flag. So what we'll do is we'll try this again with the O flag. Command line, no argument after keyword. I mean, is it an equals? Permission denied. Okay, we're getting a different error. Okay. So let's change. I don't know, man. I know there's a T, I've missed it there, that's okay. Oh my god, there we go. There we go. Oh, I've learned something, how to enable deprecated SSH keys. Not something I generally have to do, so I've learned something. There we go. I mean, I knew it, as I said, but quite honestly, it's been so long that I just need to keep looking it up every time. Anyway, it's there now, and it's in my notes, meaning that if I ever need it again, I can just look it up here. Right, that took way too long. We're in the system. Sneaky. Yay, that's ls user.cat user.text. Perfect. We'll have our first flag as well. I'm kind of hoping that's the difficult bit done, but I just know it isn't. I have a sneaky suspicion that it isn't. There we go. First flag. Right. Right. Where does that leave us? Limpy's probably, because there's nothing in the home directory. We will ls that. There's minus as well. Permission denied. Great. Great. So let's get some stuff. Sudo python 3, starting a Python server on port 80. And then we are grabbing Limpy's and probably PSPy as well. wget http. I don't know my IP. I've changed server, haven't I? Lol. Oh god. Right. Fair enough. I've got an inet 6 IP as well now. We'll try this. We will try this. Limpy's nice. Chmod. Make executable. Limpy's. Brilliant. Good. This one is a little bit tricky. Not too bad so far. Not too bad. It was quite nice having the UDP port scan necessary. Thankfully it was in the first 1,000 ports, because that could have taken forever. In fact, it still is taking forever. As you can see here, it's got 17 hours remaining. I may as well kill that at this point, because any open ports I can now see from Limpy's, or at least, you know, I guess so. So I don't need Nmap anymore. Okay, we are part of the, hang on, we're part of the sudo group, but I don't think we've got sudo rights, because we don't have the password for this user, do we? We literally just used the key and there was no password required. Huh. Well, if we're able to find a password somewhere, then we've got sudo, so that could be good. A few exploits as per usual, which we ignore as per usual. What was that? Listeners. I'm not too worried about listeners. Again, sudo group. Got a GCC compiler, which is interesting. Got the database, of course. We have this private key, which is what we just grabbed from the website. There is nothing here which is jumping out to me. Unknown SUID binary. User local bin chal. And it's root owned. And it's got the sticky bit. Ah. Well. That looks like the way forward. Well, it's one of the ways forward. Custom. Maybe. Custom. It could be custom. I'll change that if it's not. Binary with SUID. Okay, let's continue. And that's the same with the SGID as well, so it does the group as well as the user. Fine. Oh, excuse me. So tight. A few log files. Nothing interesting. What's this? Huh. And chal, of course, we have the interesting. Let's make a copy of these as well. Not sure about those. What else do we have? Now we're just looking for the word password in everything. Okay, so my camera just froze, and it's to do with it's an external camera. It's to do with my USB. Do you remember that I said I was going to change the laptop that I'm working on? I definitely need to do it because this USB, I could just tap it and the camera goes off. It's not good. You didn't miss anything. I literally just said, you know, I've got a few things to be looking at. This more than anything, this SUID, because we can run this as admin, right? So let's go there. And I'm going to need to keep my eye on the green camera light just to make sure that it is not actually going to go off again. And be careful not to nudge anything. Ridiculous. Okay, CD, we're going to go here. And then we're going to just... Actually, we didn't really have to do that. We didn't really have to do that. In fact, it'd be better to go back to where it was, in case I need to create some files or anything like that. So let's just run this. Oh, segmentation fault core dumped. 99% sure this is going to be a buffer overflow. Great. Oh. Okay, so we'll do this with a few A's. So that's okay. And that's okay. And that's okay. Yep. Yep. Just seeing if there's any point where it, yeah, crashes here. Right, okay. So this looks like a buffer overflow. Now, if you remember the last time we did a buffer overflow for Linux, we had to win a race condition. That's not true. The address space was randomized, so the base address kept moving, and we had to sort of like run it in a loop until everything aligned, and that was horrible. So let's check. And it'd be better if we just actually take a look last time and see. It was October, okay. It wasn't in October, it was the system October. So last time the VA space, if it's anything other than 0, it means that the addresses are randomized. it's 0. So this time we're not going to have that issue. This is actually going to be a bit of an easier thing then, I guess. Ah, lovely stuff. Good. So we've got no address space layout randomization. There's no ASLR. The other thing we did is we used checksec, which I don't think exists here. But I've got here. We used checksec to see if there was like canary, because not canary. Well, see if there's NX enabled. Now, if NX is enabled, it means that we cannot execute from the stack, and we had to do this return to libc thing. If you remember, if you've not seen the video October, go and take a look. It was horrible. So let's see if we can download a copy of this software. Let's see if we can download a copy of this. What we can do, to be fair, is ls var www html. Yeah, there's the dev and so on and so forth. Right, we're going to copy user local bin chal to we're going to copy that to var www html. Permission denied. Dev. Permission denied. We've not got. I was going to put it in the web root. So, what if I do ifconfig in here? 10.10.10.20. Okay. What if I do this in reverse? If I do Python, hang on, make sure Python's installed. User in Python. Okay. So we're going to cd into we're going to cd into user local bin, and then we're going to try Python M. This is what I normally do to get things onto the system. I don't normally do it to get things off the system. What I have done before is sent things over Netcat, and we've also moved things over SSH. I've not tried doing this. Python M HTTP server, and we're going to do that on port 9999. Okay. Does it work the same? Does it work the same in Python 2? Because I use Python 3, you see. So it'd be nice to know how to do in Python 2. Simple HTTP server. Okay, in Python 2 it's simple HTTP server. So that's running on port 9999, which means technically now, if I go to 10.10.10.20 slash, 9999, there it is. Brilliant. Okay, good. So wget, and there it is. That worked brilliantly. Now we can go back to our home directory. Fantastic. So what we'll do is checksec no option selected. Okay. Is it file? Do I need, I do need dash dash file. Okay. Okay, so NX is disabled. Unfortunately, there's no pi. Boo. So if NX is disabled, it means that we can run this from... We can run shellcode from the stack, and there's no address layout randomization, guys. So technically, this is going to be an easier version, hopefully, of what we did in October. The problem is, though, might not be a problem. This is a 32-bit version. I thought it might have been. I remember seeing it in the Limpies output. 32-bit version, so there's no way I'm going to be able to do that using GDB very easily on my system. I mean, oh my god, GDB exists on the target. This is much nicer. Right, let me go through and find my notes on GDB. I mean, it doesn't really matter as such. So we need to create some sort of exploit. Last time I did it in line by running whatever the thing was. That's not right. Use a local bin shell with Python and everything. All my code went in here, but I'm thinking this time if I create a Python file, then I can just run that in here. Okay. Okay. I think it's in here. Python, yeah. And then file.py. Whoa. I forgot that it didn't exist. The file doesn't exist, does it? So, it will do in a minute. No file or directory. Good. Right, so if I now create a Python file, brilliant. And in here we are going to just put junk equals that, then prints junk. Does it just work like that? Because we're on Python 2, aren't we? I keep forgetting, keep wanting to put it in brackets and I can't. That's it. So now it's just doing A, and it's just printing it. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's it. So it's just printing out whatever I put in that file. And that way I can keep the command the same and I can just every time just edit the file with whatever I need it to be. This is great. This is really good. Okay. So first we need to figure out how this works. We're going to go GDB user local bin shell, and we will actually just run it with Python file.py. No file or directory. Oh. Okay. That's not what I expected. I was expecting that to be the output, you know? Why didn't that work? Okay. I didn't mean to quit. What if I just put in like loads of A's like that? Oh, it still says the same. So my file's doing the right thing. I'm just wondering, it's trying to find a file. Ah. Why is it trying to find a file? What if I do a file just called A, and then I run this again just with A? File format not recognized. I'm trying to figure out what this code actually does, you know. It's looking for a core dump. It's not a core dump. File format not recognized. I don't even know what this code actually, what this program actually does. Anyway, let's go back and edit our file.py. So we'll do A multiplied by 1,000. File name too long. It didn't core dump though, did it? What am I doing wrong here? File name too long, so maybe it only accepts up to a certain amount. Let's try 500. But in that case, why would it? No such file or directory. So I wonder how many it took to actually crash the thing before. I mean, it took this many. And I don't know how many that is. That is 415 according to that. Interesting. File name too long. It's not core dumping. Don't understand why. I don't understand why. Okay, so let's try it without GDB. Segmentation fault core dumped. So obviously when it says file name too long, I don't understand this. I truly don't get this, because I do it without GDB and its segmentation faults. I do it with GDB and it doesn't crash. So there is a segmentation fault here. Right, I understand. So what's actually happening is I need to learn how to restart things in GDB. I'll look it up in a minute. What happens is I can run this and it doesn't crash. And then if I go run to continue the program, we have a seg fault. Okay, let me look through my notes. Just give me a second. I was wondering if I'm doing something wrong. I've got in my notes here that I need an R in there. Yeah, okay. Let's try this. Because R runs the program. So we get a seg fault straight off. I see. So we run, and then we can do Python file dot pi. That's it. There we go. We've got a segfault. We're overwritten with A's. So I can't just do it as a string straight off in the initial command. That's what we was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Now, what would really be useful is yeah. Good. There we go. So what would really be useful is for me to have another window open, one to edit the file and one to run the file, and that way I don't have to keep coming out of GDB, right? So let's get rid of you. I don't like you. Let's reconnect using what we just did up here. Come on, where are you? Here. Because if I get another connection going, then life's going to be easier. Okay. Fine. Perfect. Good. So this one is to edit the file, and this one is to run the file, and literally I just need to do that. Great. Good. We are happy. So let's make a note of this so far. Take a copy of that. Okay. So I'm going to use the trial and error approach again. So 415 is way too many. 200. Do you see what I mean about this? Exited normally. So it's somewhere between 200 and 415. So we'll try 300. So now that works. So it's between 300 and 415. We'll try 350. And that seemed to work. So we'll do 370, unless I'm doing something severely wrong here. 370 it crashes, 350 it worked, so we'll try 360 now. So 360 is fine, 370 is not. We'll try 365. .365 is a crash. We'll try 364. Okay, so we've got 4141 and then whatever this is. So we'll try 363, and then there should only be 141 in there now. No, there's not even one in there at all. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to overwrite, we're going to get a return address, which we're going to be B's, and then we're going to get payload, which is going to be C's, right? I'm going to end it with a D. The reason we end it with a D is because we can see if it's complete, if it cuts off at the C's, or if it's got a D on the end, it's not been cut off. So we're going to print, hang on, final equals junk dot plus ret plus payload, and we're going to print final. So we're pounding it with 363 A's, 4 B's. That's going to be our return address. Our payload's going to go in the C's. We're going to see if it cuts off at all. Let's try that and see what happens. So we've got 42, 42, 42, which are 3 B's, and 41 is the last A. So I reckon if we move this once more to 362, what's going to happen now is, I didn't mean to do that. What's going to happen now is we're going to get 4 Bs in here. There we go. That our return address is literally going to be these 4 bytes here. Now, normally do a jump ESP, but because the addresses aren't bouncing around, plus we're not making our exploit on a different system and having to move it out, we know, move it over, sorry, we know that the addresses are going to be exactly the same, so we can hard code an address to jump to instead of jump to this register, which, you know, whatever. So if you don't understand what we're talking about, please see my earlier videos. There was BrainPan for a Windows exploit, buffer overflow. There was October for a Linux one. And we've done some in between as well, I think. So we've got 362 bytes of junk, which crashes the system. The return address, which it jumps to, is overwritten by whatever we put in here. And we're going to make it jump to where our payload is. So what I'd quite like to do, now that this has crashed, is look at the previous, 70 bytes or so. Shall I do 100? I'm just reading my notes for buffer overflows. We'll do 100. And we're going to look at, well, we'll just try that. We're going to start it at ESP register, which is where it's meant to jump. So these are 100 bytes of what immediately follows the crash, and you can see that we've got our C's. Now it says 43, 43, 43, 43, 43, 43. We don't have the D in there, which is meant to be 44. That's intriguing. So it's cut off somewhere around here. Oh, it has. It's here. We're reading backwards. So we've got all these C's, and then it reads backwards and it cuts off. Yeah, that's our D right there. Okay. So far, so good. So, how are we going to do this? I think what I'd like to do is, hang on. Because I don't want to write all this out. Right, I think what we're going to do is, if this works, right, we've got our junk, we've got the return address, which we still don't know what that is, and what I'd like to do is a NOP sled. So I've explained this before, but a no operation means the program does nothing. And I think it's I think 90 is the no op. Let's do like 50 of those. And you might think, well, what's the point in making the program do nothing? Well, you'll see why in a second. We're going to add that. We're going to run our code again. And then look at this stack. And what happens now immediately after the crash is, oh, interestingly, I can't find our no-ops here at all. Huh. Okay, so I think what we should do is go back minus, I don't know, minus 50. So now you can see, oh my god. Oh, I know why. It's because, sorry, user error, stupidity. I have not put the no-op in here. We need junk return address, then we add the no-ops, and then we add the payload. That's fine. User error. That confused me. Oh, I've closed it again. Right. Let's go again. We're going to go again. We're going to run that. It crashes with our B's. 42 is B. We then run that, and we can see that immediately after the crash are these no operations where the program does nothing for this chunk of code here. and then it comes in with 43, 43, 43, 43, 43, 43, 43, 43, all the way until it's 44 here. Everything's read backwards, by the way. So the end of my 90s are here, and then it goes this one, and then these four in that order. And then finally, the last one is here. So what I need to do now is find some... I could generate something with MSF Venom and get a reverse shell. Absolutely I could. But I could also quite simply get a... in fact, let's do it through Search Exploit. We need bin... We're going to search exploit bin sh or bin bash or whatever. Exec x86 because it's 32-bit. Let's just do that and see what comes up. And then we're going to put in the word shellcode as well. So we've got quite a few here. And you can see they're only like a few bytes long, a lot of them. Okay, so we may as well round this down. Okay, I didn't want to do that. We may as well round this down, and we will search for exactly this. Well, we'll get rid of that. Well, I suppose that's okay. That's okay. So it doesn't matter really. We can just choose any, like this one. If there's 4 versions of this one, then obviously it's quite a good one because people are building on it. So we'll do this one. 24 bytes long, this shellcode. So that looks like the shellcode right here. We've not got, I'm not sure about characters which are banned or whatever, but there's no 00 in here. Right, okay. I'll just say we can use this for the shellcode. And this should give us a new shell, and because this is running with SUID rights, it should give us a root shell, I think. So let's copy this and put that in our code as the payload. So it starts with 31 and ends in 80, or vice versa. So we're going to run this one more time. And then we're going to look at this again. And what you'll see, just say, starts with 31, ends in 80. We've got our NOP sleds down here. For some reason, they're still showing C's. Why is that still showing C's? Did I not save it? Let's try it again. That's better. It's no longer showing C's. So it starts with 31, like I said, after the NOP sled, and it ends at 80, which is here, before the zeros start, or here. Here, yeah, fine. CD80 it ends with, and this looks like, yeah, CD80, good. So our shellcode's in there. So now we just need to jump to it, and what we're going to do is just choose an address which is in the middle of this NOP sled, like this one. And what we're going to do is just going to land somewhere around here, and it's going to keep running no operation, no operation, no operation until it gets to our shellcode. So we don't have to be precise about where we're landing. This is why we did the no ops, because it's just a buffer of space where we can jump into, and it will just slide to the shellcode, in theory. Okay, so this is where the magic happens. Now, because everything runs backwards, we need to do this backwards. So our first byte is going to be 30. The next byte is going to be F5. The next byte is going to be FF. And then finally BF. So you can see the BF is first, and then FF is second, and then F5 is third, and 30 is fourth. Which means that now we can actually just get rid of GDB altogether. And we can just try running this code straight off. Before I do, who am I? Ah, we've still got a seg fault. Oh, that's not good. I thought that was going to work. Okay, so now we go back to GDB and figure out what's going on. Oy vey. Oh, my mistake. We don't just run the code, run the program. We run it with our Python file. That's what I forgot. There we go. Cat root dot text set. So just for the notes, let's do it this way. Who am I? Then we'll run that, and then who am I? And then cat root. Perfect. And then just before this, I'm going to put in here final code. The final code being this very small block of code here. So just one more explanation. It took 362 bytes to crash the program. Immediately afterwards, the address that we jumped to, which was in the middle of this NOP sled of 50 bytes. The payload to give us root came straight afterwards, made a new shell at least, sorry. And as the program was running with SUID writes, it was a root shell, and that was it. That's all there is to it. Nice. I'm happy with that one. I do love it when a buffer overflow just comes together. It's just step by step put together. So let's finish this thing. Let's finish this. Get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and then finally the user flag and the the root flag. So I am not going to go through the guided mode today because I'm really tired and I really can't be bothered. But we are at least going to get this finished. There it is. Lost it. Oh, don't do that. Difficulty rating on this one, SNMP, IP6, UDP scanning. Okay, not too easy. I honestly think that the buffer overflow was really simple. Sneaky has been owned. I actually do think that I was going to put very easy on that because it really was. I mean, it's not as easy as just doing sudo su or whatever, but I suppose it could have been a bit harder, actually. Can I change it? I'm not sure if I can. Okay, it doesn't matter. I've skewed this now. No matter. Thank you for joining. Truly appreciated. Please leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a subscribe. Don't leave a subscribe. Join a subscribe. Share the video around, share the playlist around if you can, and visit Nethemba.com for all your pen testing needs. I'm going to see if we can get my laptop changed over for next time. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it. Goodbye.